What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukashu. We're back with another UmaMusume video. This video, we are going to be doing the short distance trial test trial. Well, I forgot what it was called, but the director Yayoi event thing. We're going to do the short distance one. That's why we are training sports festival Sakura Bakushin O. As for the setup, I'm going to try going 2-speed. If I'm going to be honest, it was something that I did come across. I saw a couple setups that for some odd reason all of them were running no wise cards, and I was just confused. If I'm gonna be honest about it, I was just honestly confused, but I didn't know why. So that's exactly what we're gonna try today, is try the 2-speed no wise setup. Kind of weird, if I'm gonna be honest, but well, we'll just go with the setup. So it's Almond Eye and Doramente for speed, Super Creek I almost said Super Creek wise, Super Creek stamina, borrowing a stay gold, guts card, the friend card, Kyoko, and then Tamamo power. So we're gonna go with this setup, and I don't know, see if I can get at least a UB. At least a UB. Because I haven't gotten a UB yet. Honestly, I was kind of busy over the weekend, so I didn't really necessarily make up much sleep. But before we do jump into the comments and the training itself, and before I talk about other stuff, if you guys haven't joined a Discord server, or if you guys haven't joined a Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There's a channel called Circle Quest for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in, and it's called Shushu. Once you give that search, hit request join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle. And then after that, head over to the comment section or the circle request channel on the Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game names, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But yeah, that was a little weird start. I forgot. I pressed the button. Normally I don't press the button before I start that whole thing that I normally say about the server, Discord server. But I just forgot. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I didn't get much sleep or I didn't make up much sleep. Probably what I should have said instead. Over the weekend, I made up some, but like, for me, I know I still haven't made up enough sleep where every time I wake up, I'm just sort of like, I'm just there like, I still feel it. I don't want to get up. My body refuses, and then I just force myself up. But it is what it is. It is what it is. What else did I do over the weekend since in Zenless, I fixed up a little bit a few of the characters that I have. So like Miyabi, Anbi, Ishwin, even Evelyn. I think just those 4. Yeah, I think just those 4. I'm not too sure. I fixed up their drive disc a bit. Just a bit. Improved crit ratios and all that. Just a little bit. I know for a fact I can get better rolls. It's just I don't have the drive disc anymore because I've pretty much rolled everything I had. At least I was able to do improvements. On top of that, since Idari is rupture, dang, 51%. Oh wait, we got this. But yeah, since Idari's a rupture, and assuming we don't get another set for phase 2, which would be weird. It would be weird. I'm assuming her set is the same as Yishun with the Yunkoi tails, or I think that's what it's called. But basically her set. And I'm assuming it's the same with Komano. Can't really exactly do that. Or but at the same time, my trust issues with 20%, over 20% training is kind of showing. I'm gonna just go do it and see. Okay. Um, I'm just gonna rest for this one. So basically, with Idhari, I believe, I probably have at least a decent set. Hopefully, it should be basically the same substats and all that for Idhari. So I'm assuming I have a a set just ready. But then Jafufu comes out, and I'm just like, or reruns there, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. The reason why I don't know what to do is because if my assumption is correct, just based off the story, Idhari's, oh, and also the deadly assault with one of the bosses, the first boss that required rupture, it had fire and ice weakness, which would, and it said best for rupture for the level. So with that, it kind of, I think, proves my assumption correct. With also the story that the second rupture team consists of 2 ruptures and Lucia. That's what I'm thinking. And specifically the ones that drains their HP and recovers their HP. Because, yeah, there isn't really any other support besides Lucia. Maybe you could add a stunner. I would assume you can. Or should. I would assume you can or should. But yeah, and I don't know. Just in case, but I could give this to any future stunner. But just in case, I did I did build another stunner. That, so the King of the Summit, I believe, is what it's called. It's basically the typical best stunner set. Fufu set, basically. Just in case. You never know. But then there's Fufu and then Dialin coming out. So that's technically 2 stunners. But Fufu would be great. Would be great to have for my Yishun team. It would definitely be great. Did I do anything else? Oh yeah, and in Wuwa I basically did the Whimpering Waste because it updated like last week. And then I also finished up the tower because I didn't. Because I didn't. Simple as that. And I think that's it for that. Oh, and I did the rest of the Star Rail events that I needed to do. And speaking about Star Rail, I think I tried to do this like probably a year ago, because definitely don't remember trying to do it any in recent months. But I hear it was definitely kind of loud enough for me to hear. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it's to build my topaz. So I was looking up to trying to see if I could improve her crit ratio, and her team should be fine. I do have her team because she's been out forever already. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun to see once I update her. See how she fares. It's been a while since I used her. I'm pretty sure she'll be fine. But yeah, there's that. I should probably give her stamina. No, I'm gonna do this just because Ego's there. But I guess I can start going over the comments now, because I don't think there was anything else I did worth mentioning, other than like the usual things I do over the weekend. Yeah, I don't think so. I wasn't able to do any rerolls or whatever for Chaos. I'm gonna just call it Chaos if I don't want to call it CZN, I guess. Yeah. But I'm gonna start going over the comments. And to start it off, we do have comments from Nova. And the first one saying, I believe there's comments also in the Dead Space video. So we'll also quickly go over those after we go over the comments here. Although there would definitely have been enough time over the weekend. Although I doubt it. He possibly have finished the whole thing already. Because I think it's like 11, 12 hours together. Because I had to do it in 2 parts. I had to do it in 2 parts. So yeah. It was fun though. It was fun though. Honestly, if I didn't try the second time to make it into a single file, probably would have had well, it wouldn't have basically ruined my original plans. But I did manage, because I did say I didn't know if I was going to be able to record a Pokemon video, or then I didn't even do Deadly Assault yet. But I managed to push all of that out after, regardless. So all good, all good. I was tired as crap though right after all that. It's all good. No worries here. No worries here. I feel like I should be doing at least a few short distance, or maybe even mile distance, because to get her fans up a bit, just so I can reach the minimum requirements to get the unique skill up. I think I'll do the 18%. I shouldn't have trusted the 18%. A part of me was gonna do the onsen thing, but whatever. Anyway, I said I was gonna go start going over the comments, but I didn't. Oh well. Anyways, I did say it was starting off with Nova's comments, and the first one says, I don't know jack about the scenario right now, but I'll be ready after the weekend. Noki said there's not much racing needed in the new scenario, so I'm like, parent training and island it is. Wait, then if that's the case, then wouldn't the setup just be simpler then? Just wondering, because I don't know. I'm assuming it would be simpler if we didn't really need to worry about the races as much. That's just my assumption though. Myself, well, excuse me, I haven't really done much over the weekend, if I'm gonna be honest. But I feel like the only thing is like, I just realized I didn't unlock the dates, even though she's already max bond. So, it's happened with in the past with the other ones, but I just don't. It just rarely happens. Sometimes it will just happen with like not even one bar. But it's okay. She decided to appear. Appear regardless. We could do the onsen. And then if the next training sucks, then we'll just use a day, I guess. Yeah, we'll do that. But I think I don't know really. I don't really know. I don't know, because I don't really have, I haven't done much, so my understanding of the scenario is whatever from whatever I train. So yeah, we'll just see how we do. We'll just see how we do at the. That's all that matters. See how we do, and then we'll just learn more from that. Yep. That's what I'm gonna go with. But next comment says, Mile Distance Mario is the New Year one, right? Time to bring her out of the closet. I believe so. I think so. Could be wrong, but so just in case someone else confirmed, but for sure I believe she is the Mile Distance one. Moving on, so I did misread Teo's speed gold skill. Medium distance, eh? I'm sure Cygame is saying that this speed will be used for a while. I would say so. For especially if you like to use leaders, so I'd say it'd be a decent card to pick up if you mainly use leaders at the very least. But yeah, yes, you did misread. I think I think the biggest red flag is you said that Teo's card was Mile. And what do we all know about the support cards? They usually match either the position or the distance that they normally do. Heyo don't do no mile distance. Strictly medium distance or long distance whenever she feels like it. Or Festival Teo, the one I still yet to get. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, the biggest red flag of you misreading was, or you didn't even have to read. It should have been, it's Teo. It could be general if they wanted to, or leader, or whatever distance. But just saying it was mile was already a wrong thing to go along with. At least that's what I think. Pretty sure the support cards match the Uma's distance and position if they want to. Dead Space is good background noise for me to do during my gachas. I just appreciate that you're still playing it in the background, watching it. Doesn't matter to me. I just appreciate it. I just hope you're enjoying it. I know I didn't do any commentary because I don't know. I just wanted to enjoy the story. Basically relive it because I haven't seen Dead Space lore or whatever since I last played Dead Space, so there we go. Actually, let me see if there's any races I could possibly just squeeze in. Maybe like 1 or 2 races at least. We could do the NHK. It's fine. Yeah, we'll do the NHK. Why not? Unless it's a good training day, then we won't. Which is the next day, so I think we'll get the second date out of the way. Yeah. Do I want to do the hard mode of that new mode in Zenless? Maybe when Idhari is released, I'll mold it. It seems like a pain though. Well, the only thing that really differentiates it from the other two is that has multiple stages of multiple teams, pretty much. But besides that, it's as I said, it's just a combination of Geo defense with deadly assault. Like the first stages feels like shield defense, and the final stage feels like deadly assault because it's reached a certain amount of score. So yeah, it's just those two. It's just those two. I swear I heard it again, but whatever. There's nothing really behind me or to my right. And I wouldn't know what would make the sound, so oh well. Well, I think you'll be fine. It's just I don't know if you possibly have built at least enough characters like I did. Counts are nearly similar, but I don't know if you did like. Well, you said you had Lucy, so yeah, I think you should be good. At least knowing that, I think you should be okay. Well, no, there's a few. There's like a few differences, I say. Because I have Yanagi. So I know I think that plays a little bit of a factor because it helped me with my DPSs, I guess, and decisions and teams. But I don't know. I'll just wait until you do it yourself to know. I'm pretty sure you'll be fine, but to know, like, I guess what teams you ended up creating that maybe seem off, or like you had no choice but to do it. mine would just be the Lucy one, and then when I added Piper. Other than that, I didn't really mix up the teams too many. Basically, it's the anomaly teams is what I shuffled up a lot. Like Piper ended up with Miyabi. I had Bernice with Vivian. So, and Yanagi was with Alice. We'll go Guts. Switch 2 is pretty nice so far. I can't wait for Fire Emblem. For some reason, I never mind grinding in Fire Emblem. That's... I don't know what to say to that. I don't mind grinding as long as I like the game. That's my comparison, I guess. Oh, I can't do this because I shouldn't do it because I think I'll just rest. Unless they... Okay, they want me to use it. Okay, then I'll use it. But yeah, pretty much. If it's a game I like and farming's involved, I'll do it. And if it's a game that I really do enjoy, well then, and I'm spending extra time in that game, and I'll most likely grind. Basically, it's the same as what I said about Silent Hill. Just getting the most out of the game, pretty much. Like Xenoblade 3, for example, since you mentioned it. I went all around everywhere doing all the side missions and all that. Experiencing just the world. The world of what's happening in Xenoblade 3. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So in general, I just don't mind grinding in general. Ooh, can't do it yet. So 18% don't do it. Okay. Okay. My sleep this month has been brutally consistent with 6 to 7 hours on weekdays. Have to catch an early ride to be in the office. I think 7 hours of sleep is good enough for an adult, but I do want to sleep and feel better when waking up. I stopped relying on coffee so far. So far, doing gacha dailies after work is all the energy I have left. Well, if 6 to 7, yeah, I agree. 6 to 7 is actually good enough for for an adult. I agree with that. But this month, or not this month since it's November, and last month, it wasn't even 6, 7 for me. It wasn't even 4 or 5. It would be like the most would be like 3. Yep. The most would be like 3. And that was the good sleep. That was a good sleep. That's just a long nap, if you think about it. And then besides whenever I got lucky with the 3-hour sleep or nap, it would be like actual 1 hour, 2 hour naps. It is what it is. It should be better this month. It should be better this month. Since I don't have to worry about getting these games done by the end of the month, basically, because Halloween was the end of the month. Or is the end of the month. Now if I do choose to play a different game, if I feel like it, I'll just record and post it. Probably the same way as I did in Dead Space, where it was basically no commentary. I was just there in the beginning and the end. So I think it'll be fine. I guess we could do a G2. Unless... Maybe that's what I should have done. On days where... I should have remembered that. On days where training seems should have just raced to see if I could have done a race. As for coffee, I don't normally drink caffeine in the morning. Or coffee. Yeah. When I do drink coffee, it's just whenever I feel like it. Not necessarily as a energy booster. When I do drink coffee as an energy booster, then it means I chose to get a cold brew over over an energy drink. Problem is, until this day, I don't know. I feel like it maybe does now, but for the longest, I haven't really. Here's a realize. I kept the stamina card. Did I? I just noticed myself. I kept the stamina card. But then, even with it, stamina's still fairly low. So it still makes me wonder about the whole not using a wise card from what I saw. They were just pictures, so I don't know. Anyways, moving on before I got stuck in talking about the same thing. Plus, I may have forgot what I said. I'll attribute that to the fact that I still haven't completely caught up in my sleep. So I do still feel genuinely. I do still feel tired. But it should, but hopefully throughout this month, I just maybe in a couple of days, maybe a week or two. Maybe I'll be better sleep-wise. But for now, it is what it is. Moving on, spoiled for sure. I'm just gonna have to suck it up. Survival of the laziest, I guess. I guess. This. Yeah, why not? Haven't heard the music for this scenario, but Island was fire. I haven't heard the music since Ura Finals. The music I hear is whatever music I'm playing. Is there a short distance? Or I think, is there other... I don't think there's any other G1s though. It's literally the Sprinter Stake and the Takamatsu no Miya. I don't think there's any other G1s. Sprint. So, yeah, whatever. Whatever. It might sound good on paper, but in reality, it's 3K per multi. Yeah, that sucks. I hate that. If it's 3,000 or close to 3,000, it sucks. I hate it when it's that high. But recently, with like for myself, for Eminence, it's at 2,700, I think. The last 3 banners has been pretty nice to me. Pretty nice to me, being being a Crunchyroll game, so I'm actually glad that the last three banners worked out, because it was for the element or color that I kind of wanted some updated newer characters in. One of them was like my strongest, but consisted of older characters or standard characters, and the other was consisted of newer characters, but or a little bit more newer characters, but could have been better, and it worked out. So my green team got improved, and my yellow team finally got an updated character. I think I have another that does 2,000 plus. But which one was it? I don't entirely remember. What's this? Do I save that for later? I don't know. 339. Does it say the same thing when I do this? It does. I think it's... I don't know why I'm overthinking this. Maybe I'm just overthinking. But let's do this, because I believe that just majority of the other stats. But and we're not getting that much in compensation. I'm not even spending anything in the game so far, and I can see that I'm not going to reach 120 pulls without saving for a while. As of... Sucks. That sucks. I mean, I'm already pretty much, in a way, turned away from the game. But Chaos, I would still reroll, but hopefully it doesn't take too long, because the longer it takes, the more likely I won't end up playing it or adding it. So we'll see what happens. Is there a race I can do? Sure. I don't even... I forgot how many fans, to be honest, for short distance. I think it was like 80. I don't know. If it's 80, I got it. 80, 100, and 120, I think. If Ivlos alt was in the middle of a drought Uma season, then that's perfectly fine. I swear that these Uma tickets are lifesavers for me. I mean... Uma tickets are not. You're still getting them. The reason why you're still able to save a good amount of Uma tickets is because your Uma pulls have been 40 or once in a while maybe below. So I wouldn't like, yes, you saving is the main thing, but the other factor is you haven't really been using much of your tickets for the most part. Like, what, 40 at most? So is it really a surprise that you're one, able to save a good amount of jewels here and there, especially when you don't need to go 2 pities or so? Because if you go 1 pity, maybe use tickets, and then you, for your support cards, you use tickets, and then you use your jewels, or we get the free pulls for like, what, 8, 10 of the pulls, and then the rest is your jewels. And since it's Uma, you've pretty much just been golden with your pulls. So yeah, I think a lot has to do with your luck as well. That, and I guess now you being, I guess, basically a whale at this point. I think you should be more than good enough in regardless. They do say a train of thought. So that was the moment Shushu thoughts derailed. Yes, a lot of my thoughts in the last video derailed. Like, basically, live. I mean, it happened like once or twice already in this video. I forgot what I was talking about, so. It does happen, like, at least a few times in the video, but last time was a different story. Forgetting Team Canopus would definitely hurt Eugen in a very severe way, not gonna lie. Like I said, the tiredness pretty much finally caught up to me at that point. The combat photography event and the blind dude story left for me. Also gonna retry the middle tower to go Brenna and blind dude team. The middle tower I just ended up with just doing Augusta, Yuno, and Artithea. I don't know about any other events, but I guess the combat photo event is the only one as well for myself. Because I don't think I have anything else besides that event. If that's the event that if the combat photography event is the one that I know I'm missing. Because I know there is one event I am missing. Ethereal was never meant to be, Shushu. There was a lot of things I could say about it, most negatively, but it is what it is. I mean, I mean, it's not like it just didn't feel like it was part of the list, you know? Like, I knew it was there, but every time I played, it was like, you know? It definitely could have been better. I guess the most I could say that I enjoyed out of Ethereal was like there were actually a few good characters that I did like the design and all that. But other than that, I think Ethereal is just probably a drop at this point. Chaos could replace it if I get my account sooner than later. But we'll see. I don't just whip out my card for everything. It's all about the efficient shoot. I don't know, man. It kind of just feels like it. Especially when you think about Wuma. It's like, yeah, you've got in, what? Phoebe and, Shuyuin? Was that, whatever his name, the blind dude. I mean, you got those two fairly early, right? Well, Phoebe in one pull, right? And then the guy in, what was it, two pulls? So besides those two, I mean, you still pulled every other character. Not every other, you pulled every character in the 2.x patches. Just knowing that, people are gonna be like, ah. They would think that you did whip out your card for everything. On top of that, we gotta there's other games involved that you may or may have whipped out your card for specifically certain events, but or like big events, most likely, but still it's it's just funny. It's just funny. Just to say it like that. So do we count luck for the alt account? So Kazuki got that lucky mustard Riz. I personally don't, because I already explained my side about alt accounts. Like, also, like, if you think about it, people who else has like alt accounts for games like Genshin and all that, it's like, are you really playing the story twice? If I had to do Star Rail and for your story a second time. I mean, I could just skip at this point, but if they didn't have the skip feature, I'll be mad clicking if I had an alt account and I was trying to get the story going, because 8 hours, damn. Damn. Plus managing a lot of duplicate characters, most likely, trying to build them. I can't. At least with Pretty Derby, you're just basically just training, but it's like, why do I have 2 accounts? At least that's how I feel. Like, I don't really feel the need to have 2 accounts. If your second account is mainly just to roll whenever you can, I guess. I guess. But if you actually have a second account and do, I can't. I gave up on that a long time ago. It just didn't make sense to me. It just didn't make sense to me. US might be whale territory. I can do US and UA eventually to make USA. So, I mean, oh, I guess technically, you put it that way, yeah, because recently the improvements have been like half a grade, or half a grade. So if I was getting high UBs, I guess I should to be able to at least get low UAs. Although whale territory, so you should be able to be in that territory. So yeah. So GFL2's next banner revealed, and it's Lin for the Corrosion team. I can't complain because I need more investment for my Klukai team, but this release schedule is all over the place. I really don't know what to expect. The Electric team is still not complete until Leva and Lena are here. I don't think I'm gonna pull until Lena and Leva then, because I was ready to pull for both of them. Could I use her for the Corrosion? Yes. I'll be honest, but I think I'll be more invested in the Electric team than my Corrosion team, if I'm gonna be honest. But thank you for letting me know. I guess I'll just save. Again. I didn't end up getting Florence. I said why not. So I guess me pulling for Florence didn't necessarily hurt me too much then, because if I'm gonna save up next one, then I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. I'll basically probably recover a good chunk of what I used then, because I did lose the 50-50 in the gun, so, and it took me quite a bit to get the weapon after losing the 50-50. So it did use quite a bit of what I saved up, but I think I'll be able to get a good chunk back if I'm just saving next one. And that's it from Nova. Thank you, Nova, for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. Oh, actually, wait. I should quickly go over your Dead Space ones before. Actually, no. Let me go finish up the comments here, and then I'll go to the Dead Space ones that I see real quick. I mean, yeah, we'll do that. But the next comment, yeah, thank you, Nova, for the comments. Appreciate it as always. The next comment is gonna be from Rick. I still haven't done a manual run on the new scenario. I've been chilling doing auto runs. And then Nova says auto run strong. I think just going off what Nova said, what Tanoki said, that it don't have to do much training, or not training, races. So I'm gonna just try and set up an auto run and see how that goes. But if it goes, I guess, decent enough or whatever, I'll consider it. I'll probably try and see what happens if I do it over a certain amount of time. And if it works out, it works out. But thank you, Rick, for the comment, and Noah for the reply. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Next comments are from Korn. First one says, on the leaderboard, why is everyone on the top running Econodictus in there? Is there something I'm missing, or is it just her career caters to this onsen scenario? Also, to see the leaderboard, just go to the event tab and it's the middle button instead of going into trial point shop. Leaderboard? Oh, event tab. I'm assuming in the menu. All that. I'll take a look at that later. I was confused for like 2 sound like leaderboard. Wait, what leaderboard? Tanoki responded saying, oh, what? Fresh. Why did it do that? Why did it do that? Tanoki responded saying, a lot of objectives for stat padding. Okay, let me refresh this again. Basically, similar advantage to Mayano with her guaranteed sharp in all previous new scenarios. I didn't even know that. I'll be honest, I didn't even know that. I don't know. I don't know the whole thing about Econodictus. But according to Tanoki, lots of objectives for stat padding. So, I guess there we go. And then the other comment from Korn says, oh yeah, my bad. I always say whatever version I was playing on last, like, I'll say leader if I go off JP, but global I'll say Ace. Was prepping some Umas for Leo Cup. I have had no luck. Well, I got my first A+ over the weekend because I was just training, but I don't exactly feel great about it. That's how my Leo Cup is going, or prep is going. But Nova says global translation is just not it, man. Alharu High is all they need, and yet Unity Cup? WTF? I agree with that. I don't get the whole Unity Cup. Or it says, yeah, I like Alharu more, but like Pace Chaser and N just makes more sense than Chaser to me. Pace Chaser sounds off to me, and I guess N does make sense. But Chaser still makes sense if you're in the end, because you're chasing them from behind. That still makes sense, either way. At least to me. At least to me. And then Noah says, I'm telling you, these translations gonna trigger me more with new scenarios. I do wonder if they have no reason to change make a new track. They have no reason to change that one. Actually, I think for the most part, most of the upcoming scenarios after shouldn't get changed. At least that's what I think. And then Korn says, yeah, the naming is going to be weird. Probably. But I don't think they should change too much. I don't think so. Because it's making you track Grand Live, Grandmasters, Lark, Project Lark to be more specific. UAF, Great Food Festival, Run Mecha UmaMusume. Like literally the only one that was different was Alharu High. That's probably why they came up with a different name. But heck, they should have just went and stuck with it. But other than that, thank you, Korn, and for the comments, and Tanoki and Nova for replying to the comments. Lastly is a comment from Tanoki. I'm already messing around with the scenario, just at a lower gaming time than usual. This is my off season after all. Hey, all good. All good. Mostly borrowing the scenario card, ergo not having human rights. I mean, if I didn't pull it, I'd be doing the same thing. But it's just funny, it's no human rights. Even though, I mean, I do want to see how the free pulls go. So far, kind of just the same. Just, at least I got the card. That's all I can say. At least I got the card. Do I have anyone? I don't think I have any for... Damn. I'll just grab the gold skill, I guess. Nova says, poverty feels bad. Tanoki says, well, even with infinite money, we'd still have to wait for free pulls. Well, maybe not infinitely money, but you know what I mean. If one person had infinite money, or we'll just say infinite pulls in a sense. Infinite carrots, how about that, instead of infinite money? Because if we're gonna say infinite money, it essentially means infinite pulls. If someone has infinite pulls, then they have no reason to wait for the free pulls. So yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Other than that, thank you Tanoki for the comments and Nova for reply. But thank you Tanoki, Nova, Korn, and Rick for the comments. Appreciate it as always. And now I'll go over the comments in the Dead Space one real quick as we're heading towards the end of the run. First one says Ishimura, let's go. Yep. To be honest, I really want them to get Dead Space 4 into existence. If the DLC ending for DS3 is canon, then I would like to see how in the world can Earth fend off the Necromorph invasion. That would be the highlight of the series. I don't remember smack. Well, besides whatever Dead Space 1 is, so I don't remember smack in Dead Space 2 or 3 anymore, so yeah. I didn't even know if there was a chance for Dead Space 4. I think I just gave up on that or something because I stopped thinking about another Dead Space a long time ago. Yep, that famous opening scene. That first guy ain't gonna be in Dead Space 2. A part of me feels like the way, at least the way it's said, I don't know if that was like the actual meme or whatever. But it's kind of, it reminds me of the bloopers of Rush Hour 2. It's one of the bloopers, Chris Tucker was like, damn, he ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3. That's what it reminded me of, at least. Rush Hour 3 or Rush Hour series, probably my top comedy series. If we're gonna talk about like movies, I guess. But notice it was like an older movie. I haven't really watched any newer movies, recent movies. But moving on, I'm still amazed that people can calmly do puzzles while extraterrestrial monstrosities are trying to murk you. I think you just get used to it, to be honest. For myself, honestly, for the most part, I'll be calm. Especially if I cleared the area first. And then I always have that suspicion that while I'm looking at something or doing a puzzle, something may or may not appear while I'm doing it. It's just after all the horror games I've played and all that, it's kind of just made it easy. I guess second nature for me to just be used to these things. Not entirely sure, but that's just what I would think, at least. That's what I would just think, at least. Okay. Okay. So it is short distance. Yeah, cause I was just checking if the scenario... Because I have gotten a scenario skill before. But it didn't light up for... Like, it didn't have this pink thing for medium or mild. At least... Did it have for mild? I'm not sure. I don't remember. I think it did. I just don't remember. I just don't remember. Reading Isaac's bio reminded me that this Church of Unity, I'm not gonna say it. It's apparently, you know. But we'll just say science. If you know, you know. I really messed up Isaac's life, being born into fortune, but only ended up humbled by his mentally unstable mother. I always did wonder why Isaac was able to resist the influence of the marker, but I guess he is already traumatized a bit himself. Also, the laziness of that guy to not check on Kendra's identity more extensively. What a joke. And or that, or maybe the government just, I mean, it's the government. They did everything they can to make sure they didn't see her identity. I mean, weren't they just like, at least Isaac's group was just like some repair group? So would they really care about their background as much? Especially if they were basically sent there to die at that point, right? So I don't think background would have mattered. You know, that's what I would think. I don't think background would matter if you were gonna dispatch them at the end of the day anyway. Sees a dying person and picks up a new gun. My first thought, oh sweet. What gun is that? I agree. I agree. I pick up something as a new gun. I'm like, oh shoot. The captain's body transformation scene is very well done in a remake. If they do remake 2, the opening will be very good. So unfortunately, from what I know, although they did sell a good amount of copies for Dead Space of the remake for the original, it didn't, I guess, meet their expectations. So I don't think they'll be doing a remake off of that. Oh, we still got a UC regardless. Although it was still higher than the UC8. Because UC8. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'll see what happens. For a sec, I thought that was a bug, but it turned out that there was a stealth necromorph. I think they were called the Stalker or something. For which part? What part was a bug? I don't remember. And then, was Dr. Mercer seen in the original? I don't recall this in the first game. Nonetheless, I appreciate that they have the scene for the remake. You're asking the wrong guy. I don't know if I said it outside of the Dead Space video at the end, but or even I may have mentioned it in the last video. I'm not too sure, but I don't remember smack of what was original or not in the remake. I mean, obviously, for the most part, the majority of obviously was the remake. I don't know what was added from the remake. So, other than that, yeah, you're not gonna get any out of me from that. But other than that, thank you, Nova, for also the comments and the first Dead Space video. But with that being said, we got capped out speed at 1970, 1166 stamina, 1709 power, 1482 guts and 677 on wise. I feel like I would have benefited more off of getting a wise card if I was doing short distance. Trying out this whole no wises thing. I don't know, it's weird. Or maybe a second guts card to get it to cap out, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I still need to get a better understanding of the scenario, but for the most part, I just need to keep I guess, doing trainings. But it's alright. It's alright. We'll eventually figure it out within the month. Within the month, I hope. I hope. Well, that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys are making this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know how your guys' weekend were, how you guys have been doing with the training since the new scenario has been released. And if there's anything else you guys do want to talk about or ask me, just leave it down in the comment section down below. As long as appropriate, I'll go over it. And if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description. There's a channel called Circle Request for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request to join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle. And then after that, head over to the comment section or the Circle Request channel in the Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. For some odd reason, I felt like I said that twice. Well, that being said, guys, I'm still thinking about the whole variety of games that I have in my library to play and posting them. I might end up doing it. Honestly, I might end up doing it. Let me know what you guys think of that idea. I'll probably bring it up again in the beginning of the next video. Just in case nobody's here to let me to hear this part. So I'll mention it again in the beginning, somewhere in the beginning of the next video. And hopefully maybe get some feedback from you guys. Well, with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.